Hi, students. Welcome to last video module of session 19, Introduction to Human Resource Development. So before we had few modules where we discussed the concept of human resource development, various components of human resource development, and HRD culture and climate. And as far as the last two modules are concerned, we discussed extensively HRD culture. So HRD culture is something the value system and the norms of the organization. So that the culture, the norms and then value system supposed to be in favor of human resource development. So human resource development believes strongly that no, it required a kind of supportive culture and then climate. So without that, it is very difficult to implement human resource development or expect human resource development happening in the organizational setup, right? So in continuation to our earlier models, so in the last model we are going to discuss human resource development climate from octopascal perspective. So octopascal is actually the short form of you can see that there are eight dimensions. So eight dimensions. These dimensions are conceived by Professor T.V. Rao when he was extending consultancy to L&T and then Delhi Steel Plant. He just developed out of his the practice, the consultancy practice, this Octopass. So he just said that the HRD culture can be created by following this Octopass dimensions. So what are these full forms? We will understand. And so from this model, the takeaway is you will understand what is the culture, the climate, and then what are the octopassal dimensions. And then, so by implementing this octopassal dimensions, we can see that there is existence of the climate in the organization. So when we are creating the culture, so we have to see that the octopassal is there. When octopassal is existing in the the climate, so that is the favorable the climate for human resource development, right? So here if you see that HRD, the climate, HRD climate is the perception that the employees have about the policies, procedures, practices, and then conditions which exist in the working environment. So about the organization as a whole, what they think, what they feel, what they perceive, how they perceive, is it good or bad. So it is a supportive or discouraging or very helping. So this kind of expression of the feelings reflect the culture of the organization, the climate of the organization. So HRD culture is like a perception of the people about the policies, procedures. So all these are the practices, the conditions. All these are related to the human resource development. So that kind of perception supposed to be there with the individuals. So HRD climate is as Professor T.V. Rao and then E. Abraham. So they both actually developed no, HRD climate has three dimensions like a general climate and octopassal the culture and then implementation of HRD mechanisms. So HRD mechanisms, of course, we'll discuss in the next session. So in this the module, we are going to discuss octopassal the dimensions. So the general the climate deals with the importance given to the human resources development in general by the top management, at the line management level. So the first thing is the general the climate is the commitment of the top management or the intention of the top management and willingness of the top management and whether the top management is really interested to develop the human resources or not, right? So that is the general the climate. So if they have in their mind, so let us develop the people so that organization will be developed because it is realizing the philosophy or truth is if you develop the people, organizations will develop. So without the developing the people, organization is not going to develop. So that OD, organizational development, depends on the development of the people. This is the philosophy, this is the fact. So by realizing that the top management, if comes out with a general climate that let us give the emphasis on people and then treat them as assets and develop them, their resources and the knowledge and competencies that is going to be useful for the organization as well as individual also. With that orientation and philosophy, the top management supposed to extend the complete support for the human resource no, the development. So then if you look at the after pass item deals with the extent to which are like no openness, confrontation, trust, autonomy, the proactivity, authenticity, collaborations, and sometimes even experimentation, and then learning also. There are total, you can say, nine also after pass L. Experimentation and then learning also. You can add two more. So like these are the no, items. So you can see that openness, confrontation, trust, autonomy through proactivity, authenticity, collaboration. So this is supposed to be there in the organizations. So we just look at what are these no, in general. If you see the openness is the when employees feel free to discuss and their ideas, activities, and then dealing with each other, that's most important. And confrontation is bringing out the problems and then issues in openly. Even if you know confront with others, that is a goodness. That is for good only. So tell openly, frankly, even if others know hurt, so you can tell them that it's for the betterment of all of us. The trust is more important among all the people. That taking the people and their the face values and then believing them and working with them, that's more important. Openness is required in the conversation, communication, and confrontation also is required. So they can just openly discuss and debate and resolve the issues and differences. And the trust also is required in the organization system. But for example, if confrontation is not there, always you'll find a boss culture. Yes, boss culture is not good because inside you are disagreeing, but outside, if you say yes, so that is not in favor of the human resource development. So if you feel whatever you feel, that if you are able to tell that openly, though it is a confronting, so that is the openness, and you can see that the trust also prevails in the organization systems. So then you can see the other dimensions like authenticity, like is giving the freedom to the people to work independently with responsibility, like empowering them. Proactivity is encouraging the people to take an initiative and the risk also. So you can give the complete free hand. Then authenticity, so is the tendency on the part of the people to do what they say, what they want. So the collaboration is the access in the interdependency to help each other and others at workplace in a team manner. So these are the seven major items. First of all, we have to incorporate in the organization, and then over and above, we can think of implementation of human resource development. So these are seven aspects like the HRD, the climate, the characteristics. So these actually, they create the conducive climate to implement human resource development. So this kind of climate is very much required. So HRD climate is characterized by the tendencies such as treating the employees as the most important resource. First of all, treatment is more important, how you treat the others. And perceiving the development employees is the job of every manager. So we have to perceive, we believe that developing each other is the most important factor. And believing that the capability of the employees and communicating openly and encouraging the risk taking and experimentation. So you can see that these are the five major characteristics of the HRD culture, right? So then you can see further the making efforts to help employees and openly, even if they did any mistake, excusing and understanding the strengths and weakness of each and every individual, supporting them and working for overcoming their weaknesses and appreciating the strengths also, and creating a general climate of the trust and then collaboration, then autonomy, supporting the personal policies and supporting HRD practices and optimum level of development and climate is essential for the facilitating the HRD activities. So this is the main character of the HRD culture, right? So then you can see organization at the end you can see that the promoting HRD climate, it depends on the organizations with better learning, the training and development systems, reward and then recognition, and then information of the system then promotes the favorable HRD climate. So these are all the no, the promoting features of the organizations, right? In terms of the favorable HRD culture, right? So then with this, let me the stop here, and then looking forward to meet you in the next session 20 and video module 96. Thank you.